Greetings all you maniacs of minds or crimes, and welcome back to another Warframe weapon showcase. Today we are going to be talking about the Zhuge Prime, a weapon that I used to not really like because self-damage was a thing and I would always kill myself using it. But now that self-damage has been gone for a while, I decided, why the fuck not? I'll get it again, and holy shit, this weapon is fantastic. Now before some people say, it's not the Kuva Brahma. It's not the Kuva Brahma. Shut up, automatons. Anyway, let's go into the build. So this weapon's cool as shit because it comes with 3V polarities. You don't need a single form into this. Now, you can put a forma here. Put a forma on this weapon. Unlock here. And then put in, like, I don't know, terminal velocity, or put another forma. And then put on, like, vigilante supplies. But anyway, this is the build I've been running, and it has worked very, very well. Now, this thing has a decent amount of crit and quite a lot of status, and it's mostly puncture and slash, with the radial attack being mostly slash and impact. Now, this weapon's cool as hell because, well, the arrows explode. They explode, well, bolts, it's not arrows, because it's a crossbow. They explode in a radius of 2.6 meters. That's not a lot, but I'm pretty sure Firestorm, wherever, if I have it, which I probably do somewhere. Yeah, I do have Firestorm. Does it increase the range? Yeah, it does. So you can use Firestorm if you want. But whatever. So this weapon also, it has a 3-second reload speed. But if you empty the entire magazine, it reloads faster. I think it goes from 3 seconds to, I want to say, about 2 seconds. Yeah, it seems about 2 seconds. Anyway, so after about 0.6 seconds, the bolts will explode. So if you're just sitting there and hammering into one target, you are going to be getting the explosion pretty much. It's going to feel very, very quick. Like, it's not going to take forever. Anyway, I have Vigilante Fervor on here, or Fervor, because, well, rate of fire and also the crit ups. I could, in fact, put on, like, Vigilante Armaments, which will give you more multi-shot, which isn't a bad thing. You can put on, of course, Vigilante Supplies, but you could put that here, so why not? Vital Acceleration will give you even more fire rate, although I feel like 10 rounds a second with this weapon is perfect, and plus the Vigilante set crit ups are fantastic with this weapon. So, enough blibber blabbering. Let's spawn in Corrupted Heavy Gunner level 140 and show what this thing can do. Nezha has nothing on him. I will be eventually putting on, I'll take out Hildren, which has Arcane Rage on, which affects this weapon greatly. But anyway. Oh, and also, because, look at this. Also, because this is an explosive weapon, you don't want punch through because you basically, the bolt itself and the explosion do basically the same amount of damage. So, yeah, you can just see how much this thing bleeds. Anyway, the cool thing about this weapon is, though, if you kill an enemy with the bolts and they don't explode yet, and it's flying through the air, the explosions could actually damage other enemies. So that's really neat. Not particularly, like, viable. It doesn't happen all the time. But you can see there that the bolts just keep exploding. And yeah, you effectively turn 30 rounds into 60 rounds because of how the explosions work. Anyway, this is just one build, Heat Viral. Heat Viral works very, very well against every enemy faction, so why not? And you can see how fast that the Viral stacks with this weapon. It stacks insanely fast. Like, I mean, look at all the status that this guy has just from a short burst with this weapon. Also, I'm pretty sure this thing uses rifle ammo and not bow ammo, because I've never run out of ammo with this thing. So, what are some other ways you can build this weapon? Well, first thing you can do is a corrosive heat build. That will work very, very well against Grineer. You could also do a radiation toxin build. Why would you do that? Well, that's for the Corpus, and that will destroy Corpus. But this build right here, because of how this thing works, the amount of impact that this thing doles out, and the amount of slash with, you know, the heat and viral, the enemy shields don't last very long at all. Corpus still aren't bullet sponges. They've gotten tougher. But the thing with Corpus is that always makes them hard is the abilities that some of the enemies have, like disabling your abilities, aka nullifiers and scrambuluses, and some of their heavy units are chunky, but this thing doesn't give a fuck. Also, they deal a fuck ton of damage. Anyway, and of course in 2.6 meters it will do stagger. So if you also... I've been, like, flipped by this weapon, but it doesn't seem to happen very often. So let me actually go ahead and pull a Hildren. I know I can just slap on the other arcane onto Nezha, but I'm not going to. I'm still pissed that Zhuge Prime's not coming. So Arcane Rage, 8% chance for 90% more damage. Now, I don't have it maxed. I'd get this thing maxed, but I don't have the plat. I'm pretty sure this thing isn't too expensive maxed. But yeah, on headshot, 180% more damage, and it boosts it quite a substantial amount. Also, by the way, if you're ever questioning if Hildren's good, she's unbelievably freaking powerful. She's such a good... but anyway, if I can actually get the... Okay, there's the Arcane Rage bonus, and yeah, that's what 90% plus Serration looks like. So, yeah, it's you know, it's kind of strong. It's also because this thing likes to rip enemies apart. It's a decent chip pick for Necros, because you're basically guaranteed to rip enemies in half. So yeah, there is that. One final thing, well, a few final things I'm going to do. How about we do some memes? How about we go for some classic hero memes? Everyone loves hero memes, right? So this is my hero build. I have not touched him with any Forma memes. This is just nothing. So, yeah, I also have Arcane Rage on him. And I'm going to be using his 4 buff, which is going to make this thing red crit like crazy. And, there we go. I have enough damage, so I'm just going to wrap these guys up. So yeah, Harrow makes this thing stupid overpowered, but of course he does because it's Harrow. I'll also show this thing with mag, because this actually is a pretty damn good mag weapon. I mean, just boosted fire rate. Now, this thing does have a recoil. But it's not like a crazy amount. But yeah, even not going for headshots, this thing does so much damage. So, just show it at a distance here, because why the hell not? So that's cool. Anyway. Now let's show it with mag. It's a good mag weapon because of the explosions and everything. Now, if you're going to build this thing for the infested, a gas build will work pretty damn well, but you could just always just build corrosive and heat, or just do viral and heat, and there's that. Oh, what about 100 munitions? It doesn't seem to add all that much, but, you know, do whatever you want. So, because they're basically forced into a very small spot, this is a pretty good mag weapon. Because, I mean, look at that. Let's spawn in some more because I want to get huge fucking numbers with mag. Yeah. Mag, you're so fucking overpowered. I love you so much. And then, oh, wait. Then finally, we will try it with Wukong and his very strange clone. Now, on Wukong, I have the Vigilante set here just for added, why the fuck not? It honestly doesn't really make that big of a difference. I don't play Wukong very much. I like him. He's a very fun frame. But, you know, I would rather play Hildren or Baruch or someone like that. So, Wukong's clone with this weapon is pretty interesting. He's good with it, but it seems like the bolts just go absolutely motherfucking everywhere. Which, you know, isn't a bad thing. Should probably try and get him closer. There we go. Yeah. He does have double damage. And it's even more amplified when I lock onto a target. So there's that. And of course, with the crit ups from Wukong, this thing is way more powerful. So Rivens for this weapon. I don't know the Riven disposition. I assume it's like maybe medium disposition. It's probably not 5 out of 5. Because why would it be? This is a primed weapon and it's very powerful. But I don't know, because people think that the only weapon in the game is like the Kuva Brahma or insert quote-unquote meta weapon here. So, honestly, this weapon, I would go critical chance, multi-shot. Well, more critical chance would be fantastic. Fire rate wouldn't also be bad. Innate heat wouldn't be bad, so that way you can, well, it would supplement thermite rounds. And all that stuff here. Every single mod here is actually super easy to get your hands on. Vigilante Fever, you get this from bounties, and also I think it drops from enemies on the plains. So it's not that annoying to get. Cautious Shot, go for it if you want to, but honestly, I have a solution for that. Either play a frame that cannot be knocked down, or use something like Sure-Footed. I know it's not Prime Sure-Footed. Shut up. I don't have that. Once I do, I'll put in another Forma in Hildren, and then put Prime Sure-Footed here, because she already comes with innate D polarity for that. So, what I'm about to play is some disruption footage showing that this weapon works in real-world missions, and also takes down demo units really quickly. So, yeah, it works very, very well. Just because, you know, so if a weapon works well in the Simulacrum, some people say, oh, that doesn't translate to real world missions. Bullshit. That's bullshit right there. This is a weapon that it's a fucking honey badger. It don't give a fuck. Because it is absolutely fantastic, and I think more people should give these kind of weapons a chance. They're like, oh, it's an auto crossbow. Even though it's explosive, it's got a blast on it. It's you have AoE. The AoE is way too fucking small to do anything. No. If this thing had like 10 meters of AoE, it would be the most broken weapon in the game. But whatever. That's the Zhuge Prime. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I'm pretty sure this weapon isn't vaulted yet, and you can still get the relics and go for it. I assume it's not too terribly expensive on Warframe Market, because, I mean, some people probably don't give a shit about this weapon, but it's really good. Also, of course, I'm going to mention this. You want this thing to have faster projectiles? Zephyr exists, even though people don't pay attention to her, and I will do a video on her very soon because she's fantastic. And terminal velocity exists. So, prime terminal velocity? No, that'd be too much. Although it'd be pretty memes. So, that's the Zhuge Prime. I love this weapon to pieces. It's absolutely fantastic. It's pretty much my new go-to. I've been using it non-fucking stop because I just can't get enough of it. It's fucking Van Helsing's crossbow. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trophy, we trust.